There's a particular concept often heard in jazz when playing over a tonic minor chord that creates an asymmetrical sound when listening to it. You can hear this on tunes like Charlie Parker's Coco and also Dizzy Gillespie's tune called Bebop. I've always loved this sound, and over the years I've figured out many ways of incorporating this into my playing. That's what we're going to look at today, so stay with me. The term bebop scale was coined by the great jazz educator David Brecker, who basically took a major scale and added a chromatic note between the 5th and the 6th degrees. His system also included a dominant bebop scale where he added a chromatic note between the flat 7 and the root. Now, I did another video explaining some of the concepts from the bebop scale, and if you want to get that, then just click over here. One of the main talking points about the bebop scale was that when playing in eighth notes, as long as you start your line on a chord tone, you'll always end up landing on a chord tone on every downbeat. Another application of the bebop scale concept was taking a melodic minor scale and adding a chromatic note between the 5th and the 6th degrees of that scale, which would sound like this. Another renowned jazz educator, Barry Harris, had a similar concept with the same scale, although with a different twist. Harris took this same melodic minor scale with an added chromatic note between the 5th and the 6th degrees, and he called it the 6th Diminished Scale. The focus with this concept was with harmonizing the scale, which resulted in alternating chords consisting of a C minor 6 followed by an A flat diminished 7th chord. Check out how this sounds. My teacher Charlie Banacos also had a concept that I studied called chord on chord, where in one of the lessons he taught a similar idea where he took two chords, a C minor triad and a G7 flat 9, which is really just the same thing as an A flat diminished 7th chord, and would then mix these two sounds accordingly. Check it out. Both the Barry Harris and the Charlie Banacos methods is what I heard a lot of jazz players use when they were soloing over a minor tonality. Check out this line played in context. I'm sure you'll recognize the sound, then I'll be back for the breakdown. Okay, so we've heard this line in context now, so let's go ahead and break this line down. Now, to get the most out of this lesson, what I want you to do is go to my website and download the accompanying PDF that comes with this lesson. You can get the link by just clicking over here, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and then you can download the PDF. So the PDF includes the Barry Harris exercise that I did earlier on the video. It also includes the Charlie Banacos exercise, as well as a little bit of a bonus lesson with the minor bebop scale. You've got some different ideas that I've put on the PDF for you there. Plus, this whole bebop line over the static minor harmony that you've just heard. And I've written that out in every key, and it's got all the tablature for all the exercises, so there's no fingering discrepancies. You can just plug and play. So if we take a look at this bebop line over the static minor harmony, we start off with the root, the flat 3, the 2, back to the root of the C minor chord. Then it goes to the 3, 5, flat 7, flat 9 of the G7 flat 9. Then it goes to the 5, the flat 3, the root, and the 5 of the C minor chord. then it goes to the flat 9, the 3, the 5, the flat 7 of the G7 flat 9. Then it goes to the 6, root, flat 3, root of the C minor. Then I go down a half step to the 3, 5, flat 9, flat 7 of the G7 flat 9. Then I go to the 5, flat 3 of the C minor, the 3, the 5 of the G7 flat 9, and then the root and the 5 of the C minor. So that's a real nice outline of that in context. So you can really hear that flavor of how we're bobbing back and forth between that C minor to the G7 flat 9. And it's really given us that cool tension and release, that kind of inside, outside kind of sound throughout over that static minor harmony. You can hear a lot of guys use this within their solos just over one chord. And this is a very, very useful thing to check out. So on the sheet, I've written this out in every key. If we take a look at this in the key of F minor, I've got this. Okay, now you go try it. Now, it has to be said that all of the concepts that I've talked about go way deeper than what I've presented here today. I've only really just scratched the surface here to capture the essence of how many of the jazz masters might play over a static minor tonality on tunes such as Softly as in a Morning Sunrise, So What, or the intro to Charlie Parker's Coco. It's now really up to you to further research these concepts and get it into your playing. Or failing that, you can always hit me up for a few Zoom lessons. Until next time, practice smart, work hard, and play creatively.